Wednesday, and we're back at the auto show. Uh, I heard a chirp in my ear. What was that? Oh, that was Twitter telling me that I'm live. It's always good to get those confirmations. I like it when they say things that are obvious, like "Bing bong, you're live." So we're doing this thing. We're doing the Ask a Traffic Op thing, and we're so happy to be here. As per usual, that's what we do. We go live so we can answer your traffic and police questions for an hour. At 10:35, we're going to be joined by Jerry Agar on News Talk 1010, and that's always fun. I'm going to get this up so it says that we are asking you to use a letter Q before the question to make sure that we actually know it's you. That we know you're there. Okay. Hey, we got a bunch of questions coming in. This is so good. I love it when it works. And I'm using an iPad, which means I should actually be able to read a lot easier. Yeah, this is actually my iPad that we're pointing at. Not because I left my phone at the office. No. Best laid plans. Akela Dracona is with greetings and salutations. How you doing? We've got a dad joke that we are going to save for later. The question was, do I have Jerry Agar here live in person with the studio audience? No, the deal is that he came here on Media Day. We're connecting with his audience live over the interweb. Okay. And Akela will be here tomorrow, which is awesome. Okay. Northern Pike says, good morning, Sean and everyone. Am I having tech issues this morning? When would we not have tech issues? But we have that full tech team, which is awesome. The tech team is me, myself, and I. Makes for an interesting day. No, actually, I literally, I left. Actually, literally, yeah, I left my phone at the office. Yeah, it's fun. Michael waves hello. Okay, what do we got here? Yeah, I got Northern Pikes already defending me. Yeah, we were a little behind the setup, but we are good. We are happening. It's live. We're doing it live. I just had a YouTube video played for me with a whole doing it live. I don't think I'd ever seen it before. Anyway, apparently we're a little quiet. Let me see if I can raise the volume a little bit. Is this any better? It should be a little louder. This is good. I need this little feedback. Helps a lot. I miss being in studio. I love being at the auto show, but I miss being in studio where I can control the environment and things just work. Now we got Ryan Pinn. Chase is here. Jeff King says good morning. Okay. At least that's 3 people, maybe some clones. TikTok integration is not working. How do we fix that without breaking things? All right, we're going to try and do this. New window. We were able to fix it yesterday, which is awesome. Okay, relay mode on, reload. Okay, hopefully that worked. And of course, I rely on you to tell me if it did or didn't. Oh, sorry, stand by. No, it's not that one. Oh, okay. Sure. Now you have to make me think about this. You know what? I'm not even sure if that's it. It might be that. It's muscle memory. Yeah, it was 4 digits. I think. If it doesn't work, tell them not to sweat. We're live and it's working. I'll just make a trip back to the office to get my cell phone later. Okay, let's see if this is. So now, let me know if TikTok is now working. How can I check this? Doesn't see nobody from TikTok saying hey yet. So it's either working or it's not. Let me slide over here and see if I break. Well, I see folks on TikTok. I don't know if you. Oh, you can't see my camera because I switched off. Well, message. We're back. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why that's not working. Hopefully it'll I'll try resetting it again. Nothing like issues. Here we go. Try relay mode off. Reload. Relay mode on. Reload. Okay, in the event that TikTok isn't working, which is what we seem to be living in, come over to YouTube, come over to one of the other platforms, and we'll do our best to chat with you there. Do I sound tired? Yeah, I am tired. That's Chase says. It's been an amazing show, but I've been here morning till night every day except Saturday. So there you go. If you got questions, we've got answers. We're talking about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. You can certainly get your questions in. I want to see these things here. Did I get to drive any cool cars while I was at the show? Negative. I have not driven anything except the cool car behind me, which is a 1988 Plymouth, which I had the most fun driving for the whole 10 minutes that it took to get here. Okay, we got X is working, which is good, but I'm not seeing comments coming through from TikTok, which happens now and again, but sadly, I don't have the ability to run both, I don't think. Let me see if I can actually do this. I definitely broke it. Trying one more time. Nothing like trying to fix things whilst live. I don't think, no. I'm going to abandon this attempt in a second because it's really annoying. I'm trying to get a split with, no. Oh, maybe. No. Last. I'm not going to try anymore, but then I keep trying. Oh, come on. I should just give up, but I'm determined. No, this is. I can't feel my arm anymore. I'm going to switch arms. Okay. Maybe. Is it going to work? Come on. Trying to drag around the screen. I had my other device here. It would just work. But since I don't, I can't. So we're moving on. I've given up. Okay. Bob, lawyer, I'm at the auto show today. Can I ask to take a photo? I guess Chase is doing the favor of trying to bring questions over, and I appreciate your efforts, Chase. You're the best. Yeah. So the deal is that, yeah, come on by. I've been taking photos with people the entire show so far. Okay. Why am I reaching up all the way over here when the questions are also duplicated down here? Akela says, we'll see if we can get some time to drive in at Camp Jeep in the EV track. So there is an amazing track in the North Building, and that building allows you to, it's like Jurassic Park. Yeah, you get in, they drive you around. It looks awesome. I don't know if I want to get into that. I wouldn't want to wait in line. And if you do wait in line, I'm not sure I trust anyone to drive that. I'm sure no one's rolled over yet that I've seen. Okay. What do we have here? We have a question. Jason Cranny, thanks again, Chase. Hey, good morning, Sean. Quick question. What's your thoughts on people driving with four-ways on in the snow? It drives me bananas. It's not the way you're supposed to do it. You are supposed to use your four-ways when you're not moving. When you're now 18-wheelers may use them when they can't move faster and they are a hazard. It's something to draw their attention. But people driving because it's snowing is like people driving when it's raining. It's silly because it's raining for all of us. It's snowing for all of us. We know that everyone should be slowing down. Makes no sense at all whatsoever. But, we talk about this all the time. Sergeant Campbell and I gripe about it because it drives us bonkers. And then we move on. Okay. Steven says, I've seen police cars with side window tint, but where not allowed, can you explain? So you're allowed to have side windows tinted on all of the side windows of your vehicle, but there's a maximum level of tint that you can have. Now, maybe you're talking about a jurisdiction other than the province of Ontario, which is possible. I don't know what the rules are where those vehicles are, but in Ontario, there's a maximum darkness or amount of light that can be restricted, blocked, and that's 30%, and then it's an unsafe vehicle. So I doubt that vehicles have more than the legal limit. But if they are, then that would not be lawful. Personal phone. Yeah. If you call it, yes. But it should be either in this. I don't know. Don't worry about it. If it's not. Actually, it doesn't ring. I've never had the ringer on. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat. Not worth it. We're moving on. Everyone's trying to find my work phone at the office. I must have dropped it. It might be in my jacket pocket in the office. It could be in the jacket pocket in the office. On the hanger. Yeah. I lost it. I have misplaced it. I'm going to interrupt the live stream to do this. I'm going to hit find my phone. I'm going to try and make some real noise on it and see what happens. Playing sound. Let's see if it makes a lot of noise in my office and everyone goes bananas. Okay, moving along. Okay, and once again, thank you, Chase. You're the best. Okay, what we got here? Where'd it go? Looking for the highlight. There it is. Is Paul Stone still active or is he retired yet? Paul Stone? It's not something that comes to mind. I don't think I know a Paul Stone. Please start. It's me with an automated message of please start your question with the letter Q. Don't worry about it. We're all messed up today. We're not going to make a thing about it. But what you should make a thing about is coming down to the auto show and saying hello to us in person. That is what you should do. We're going to be here all through the weekend until the 26th when it is over. I just got to keep an eye out for, well, that'll change to, there we go. Okay. The question we're putting on screen, can I drive with G1 when I have a G2 holder supervision in the passenger seat? No. You must have a full G-class driver with 4 years experience as your supervisor. That is the only option. You cannot drive with a G2. You are driving unsupervised if that's the case because they're not qualified. And then you get the magical ticket for drive or G1 driver drive unsupervised. And then you get a 30-day suspension if it's your first time, a 90-day suspension if it's your second time. If you do it a third time, you actually get the joy of being kicked out of the graduate licensing program. Also, you're not covered by insurance. Okay. AJ says, I was at the TPS booth yesterday. Does the yellow Cruiser use a crank siren? No, it has those black boxes over my shoulder. Those are electronic sirens. They are super duper loud. And yeah, fun with that. They work. I did chirp them when I was on the road driving over here. Okay. Why don't people with lap dogs in their laps driving aren't ticketed? I read that right. Okay. It's not legal. So they can certainly be ticketed and should be ticketed. It's either drive while crowded or careless driving or both, but there's no reason to do that. Drive with your animals either in a crate or tethered in a seat, preferably in the back seat where it's safest for them. Can a police officer scan plates for insurance? We do have the ability of doing checks, and we can check the most recent record, but we will use that as a starting point. We will then check with your insurance company to get an up-to-date report because there may be a delay. Basically, insurance companies send information to the ministry, but there's a delay. So you could cancel your insurance today, and it may not reflect on that system tomorrow. So what do? We actually check with the source, and if we can't, whether we're going to charge you for drive no insurance is a number of factors. Anyway, hope that answers your question. If you're watching and you don't know who I am, my name is Sean Shapiro. I'm losing my voice slowly. I am a police officer with the Toronto Police Service and currently at the Toronto International Auto Show. Yeah, it's the best place to be in Toronto right now. I like it. I like it a lot. What if I do this? How's the audio now? Is that better or worse? I'd like to know. It was just a curiosity. When I go on air with Jerry, I'm curious how it's going. Oh, here's News Talk 1010.
Your next update.
Hey there. Hello. Okay, we're testing sound. Let me know when you're ready. Looking good at the auto show. Why can't I change your volume? There we go, down to 60. How are we sounding on your end? We've got the magical folks at News Talk 1010. We're just checking things out before we join Jerry live on the airwaves in about 4 minutes. Oh, he needs a minute. He needs a second or a minute. We will continue to flag your questions. We're going to go on air with them at 10:35. Once that's done, we'll stick around till 11 with you and continue to share stuff and things. Oh, by the way, we have a new addition to the booth. We brought a radar board with our radar coordinator, who's a magical guy who oversees all of our speed measurement equipment. And he's going to be doing some demonstrations explaining how radar works, how laser works. And if you want to get educated on stuff and things, come see him here. Akela says, hi, Jerry. All right. I am going to flag a couple of things here. News Talk wants to know if there's a radar gun. If I run down the hall, can you clock me? Yeah, we could use a laser to clock you or a radar. I think it's safer for you and your reproductive abilities to use laser instead of radar. Are you coming back? Are you coming back to get radared? We actually have a view to the track, and we have the test track going around and around. And when when the cars are running, we can use radar for that. Audio is all good. Fantastic. Thank you for the feedback. Hopefully it is fantastic for everybody else, too. Okay. Take that off the screen. What's next? We got a statement of hello. Rico wants to know if I have thoughts on home invasion. You put home evasion. Home evasion is easy. You just walk to the left. They rarely move. But in terms of home invasions, yeah, criminals need to be put in jail. That's where they need to be. Home invasion is ridiculously unacceptable. Actually, all crime is unacceptable. Oh, okay. 12th Division in the 80s. That makes sense why I wouldn't recognize. Yeah, 80, if he was working there in the 80s, I doubt he's still working. I met some coppers who were here yesterday, I hadn't seen in ages, and they started in the 70s and retired. Okay, here's a question. If all seats are full and child needs to sit in front seat of SUV, is this against the law? So children can legally sit in any seat. They may require a booster or a child seat, but the location isn't illegal. Like you can't. There's no ticket for a child sitting in the front seat. It's just not as safe as the back seat. So that's the thing. Back seat is best until 14. News Talk, if you can give me a heads up when we got 30 seconds or 60 seconds or whatever works for you, just let me know and I'll stop talking about other stuff and things. I got a ticket for tinted windows yesterday, even though I only have my rear windows tinted. Well, that is strange because the windows that are regulated are the ones left and right of the driver, not the ones in the back seat. And if they said that you didn't have a clear view to the rear, as long as you had mirrors, you have a defense. Now we have 20 seconds, so I'm going to take this off the screen and we're going to wait for Jerry. If you want to call in, 416-872-1010 or text 71010 to join the conversation.
Listen anytime, anywhere to News Talk 1010 Toronto through your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Jerry Agar continues.
Sean Shapiro is the TikTok traffic cop. He's on TikTok on a regular basis answering people's traffic questions. And so a couple of times, well, once every couple of weeks, generally, we dip in. We're doing an extra one because he's at the auto show and is here to answer questions. So if you've got them, you can call 416-872-1010, 877-518-5151, or text me at 71010. Sean Shapiro, good morning.
Good morning with my hoarse voice and auto show background.
Well, because you're over there talking to people all day long and your voice is getting hoarse. But I understand. My producer, Donnie, and I came over and we saw you last week as you were setting up. We went over on Media Day and you've added some kind of interesting technology since we were there.
So we have a couple of portable lasers. These are handheld speed measurement devices. And we're measuring the folks on the track, but we also brought an old school radar device, and it is connected to a board so we can actually display the speed for everyone to see how these 15-kilometer-an-hour speeders are going.
Do people try and pretend that technology doesn't work?
We have all sorts of people who use either technology to circumvent or avoid detection, but and then there's the games that are played in court to try and suggest it doesn't work properly.
All right. Here's a question somebody sent in. Why is it compulsory to wear a seatbelt in a motor vehicle, but it's okay to sit in a trailer and not wear a seatbelt? Are they thinking like a motorhome? Is that what they mean?
Well, you can't actually be in a trailer in Ontario that's being towed. That's illegal. And if you're sitting in a motorhome, you need to be in a seat that has a seatbelt. You can't be in the back of a pickup truck or a trailer. That's not legal. You have to occupy a seat that was designed for a person that has a seatbelt.
All right, and question, what are the rules regarding carrying kids in the front seat?
Funny, we were just talking about that. So it's not illegal to have a child in the front seat. Let's say you only have a two-seater, where else would you put them? So while backseat is best, you can't have them in any position other than the driver's seat, and they have to be in the appropriate child safety restraint, booster, or seatbelt, depending on their size, weight, and requirements.
Okay, another question here by text. Is it necessary to remove the old license plate sticker?
It's not. A lot of people want to know that. And you could take a dryer and, meticulously scrape that off. Mine happily says 2020.
A hairdryer?
Yeah, hairdryer help it out, release the glue. But you're not going to get a ticket for having it on. If you're traveling in the States, though, it might make people think and have a second look thinking that you're expired.
Well, I worry about that. I mean, traveling in the United States with these stickers, and I just, I just foresee, we've talked about this before, but I foresee being pulled over by a state trooper somewhere, and you're driving around my state here with an expired license plate, and I have to try and explain it to him, and your province is doing what? Like that, it sounds to me like that won't make sense to the cop, and so I've actually printed off an article and my material from the province, and I carry it around with me.
I've heard stories of police officers in the States who believe that you need to apply for an American license to drive in America. So while I love the police everywhere, some of them don't, may not be up on all the laws.
Okay. Well, no, you don't have to have an American driver's license or permit. The Canadian license authorizes you to drive anywhere in the United States, and an American driver's license authorizes you to drive in Canada.
Absolutely. There are laws that allow us to accept the licenses of other countries and so on. But again, some people have been told that you're driving in California, you need to apply for a California license. Not accurate.
No. Sean Shapiro is with us from the auto show, as a matter of fact. So you can drop by and ask him questions there. Has it been busy?
It has been amazingly busy, nonstop. I don't think I left for a break until 4 p.m. yesterday, having been on my feet here at the show since it opened at 10. It has been amazing. We've had so much love and support from the community who watch us online, and I've been posing for a lot of photos too.
Andrew writes in and wants to know, if I'm being pulled over on a busy road or highway, is it acceptable to drive a bit further to a safer off-ramp or parking lot, or am I expected to pull over immediately?
You are required by law to pull over, and it's not shopping for a better parking space. We're taking into consideration your safety, and we're responsible for it. That's why we've got the flashing lights. We're going to pull out and block traffic to make sure that you're safe. And it's in our best interest to be safe, too. We're the ones that are getting out of the car, walking up to your door. So if it's a concern, we may take your license, ownership, and insurance, license, ownership, yeah, that's it, and then pull over and give you instructions to move the car. But you need to pull over immediately.
All right, because that will seem dangerous.
The continuing driving, it may
No,
seem
I
like
mean,
a pursuit.
if I'm on the Gardner and I'm going too fast, there's a fair amount of traffic. Maybe I'm one of those people. I'm not, but one of those people who zips in and out of the lanes. You know, that guy who's an excellent driver, and he gets pulled over. But when he pulls over, then that seems to interfere with traffic.
It does interfere with traffic, and there's a number of stretches that have no shoulder, and we're probably not going to pull you over until a shoulder becomes available. And when I say pull over immediately, it's not hammer the brakes. That's a problem. You need to slow down safely and pull over safely, but not take the next exit.
Okay. Well, the officer needs to know that you've noticed the lights and that you're reacting to it, correct?
Certainly, we want to make sure that you are making efforts to slow down. We see your brake lights light up. We know that you're paying attention. The people who continue driving, while it happens because of impaired driving, or those who are calculating the next move because they plan on running, all of those things, get our spidey senses tingling.
All right. You got a position on this story that's been in the news this week about cops getting speeding tickets?
I've not.
You don't have a position on that?
It's not about that. I haven't seen it. I've been so busy at the auto show that I've not been paying attention to the news. So give me some background.
Well, the background is that cops who are clearly not in an emergency situation, because some of them have actually been parking enforcement officers, it's hard to believe there's an emergency situation going on there, have been getting these red light camera and speeding camera tickets, and that doesn't look good on the police.
No, it doesn't. And we have policies. We have to follow the rules. There's internal discipline. If I were to get a red light camera ticket and I would get a 4-hour dock of pay, or if it happened again, an 8-hour, maybe a 16-hour, these things escalate. But there's no justification for running a stop sign. Doesn't matter if you're a police officer or a parking enforcement officer or any civilian driving. So we take that really seriously. And that's what our management does is they carry through, and the not fun message comes from your boss.
Okay, so we should not assume, as some of my listeners have, that the cops' attitude to this is, yeah, whatever, we're the cops. People could be called into an office and there would be consequences.
Not just could, we would. I had a friend of mine who was running to an assist officer call. When they reviewed his tape, he ran a stop sign, and no, he was doing everything right. He still got a 4-hour dock of pay for running that stop sign.
Our tinted license plate covers illegal, somebody is asking.
They are absolutely illegal. You can have no cover, not even clear license plates, not even the ones that come from your dealership. They are not legal. They're obscuring the license plate, and you can be charged $110.
All right. And here's another one. If you're getting pulled over driving your parents' car, and then you find out the registration has expired, does that show on the record of the person driving, or does it impact the owner of the car?
As the driver, you are required to have all that information and know where it is. And you, as the driver, would get that ticket if you fail to surrender the information. That's something you check before you take the car for a drive.
All right. So somebody says, I get a photo radar ticket. I asked for a court date. I haven't got one yet. Will the ticket case become inactive and withdraw if they take too long to give me a trial?
That's something you could take up with them in court. There's a period of time after which you can make an 11B application suggesting you didn't have a fair and speedy trial. But that's something that you have to apply for. It doesn't just disappear on its own. They don't evaporate.
Yeah, there's a thing. I really do want to have another session here, Sean. I always love having you on, but one day you brought your buddy from the parking authority, and I'd like to do another one because the thing we'll be talking about here through the course of the morning is City Hall is looking at increasing parking fine charges, and I'm okay with that. But I wonder if you've even found, just even as a citizen, Sean, could they improve the signage at some places? You've got like 6 different signs on one post telling you something different.
Well, listen, not just about parking, signage in general can be confusing. And that's one of the things you really need to look at. And I myself have received a parking ticket doing it wrong. So I paid mine and moved on. But there's always a way to improve communication when it comes to signage.
Yeah. Well, have fun at the auto show. Sounds like that's what's happening.
I'm going to have a lozenge and wait to start talking to hordes of people coming through the show. But it's a lot of fun.
All right. Thanks, Sean.
Take care. Talk to you soon.
Sean Shapiro, the traffic officer. This is the iHeartRadio Talk Network.
Okay. So we did that thing. And now I can change our background and get back to you. Let's change back to chat. Okay. By the way, I'm going to download and upload a version of this to the podcast platforms that host our channel, and you can synchronize all this audio and listen to it after the fact without burning your data and not breaking the law, because you won't be looking at a video screen. Which, by the way, if you're looking at a video screen, you're going to raise, you're going to get a ticket for about $615. Actually, it's exactly $615. I can take this out of my ear now because I don't have to hear anybody else talking to me. It was a weird delay. Okay. Anything you want to tell the magical people on TikTok and the internet about what we're doing here today? I've given them a pretty good, intro. We've been talking about, Jerry was asking about what's new and interesting because we talked about the radar that we're demonstrating, but I don't know. Is there anything that we have missed? Oh, wait. Do you want to say it on camera? He's going to get his hat on. Okay. Well, I'll just. Okay. Here you go. Okay. They see. If you see yourself, they see you.
Oh, there we are. Maybe I'll stand back. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for watching. At the auto show this year, Toronto Police, first time in 6 years. We're excited to be here. Starting either tomorrow or for sure Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to be running a traffic safety game show style quiz. It's going to be live at the auto show, likely beginning at 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 7 p.m. So 4 sessions live at the show, and those prizes to be given away for traffic safety trivia. So check us out here at the auto show. Thank you very much.
And I might be hosting that, so come on down. I'd love to give prizes away. Tickets usually, but prizes are a good second best. Swag. And of course, if they go to TrafficCOP.ca, and if you were at the show and you forgot to do the survey that you probably asked 6 times about, we are doing a survey. We're trying to get feedback about what we do, both on social media and on at the show. We're trying to get some feedback of what you think, what you'd like to see us do more of. And if you would like to participate, TrafficCOP.ca will let you get in there, and you can also put your name and email in, where we will be giving away gift packs. And if you would like to win, you got to leave your information. But you don't have to leave information. You can just simply say we're amazing and move on. 100%. All right, let's get some more questions going. What lane should a driver pull over on for the highway? So this is where you're required by law to pull over to the nearest curb or edge of roadway. If you're on a divided highway, that could be the left or right, depending. So you need to make the best choice based on where you are. If you're in just tons of traffic, then it may make more sense to be on one side versus the other. Now, we've been having issues because, of course, nothing is running right. Technical joys of being live on location and leaving one of the major cell phones at home, no, not at home, but at the station, means that you may not be getting your message heard. If you're on TikTok, come over to YouTube, and you can do that by going to youtube.trafficcop.ca. I don't normally try and drag people away from TikTok, but I want to make sure that Chase doesn't cut and paste till his fingers go numb, and you can still be heard. Carl Freeman says, "Good morning, Sean." Good morning, Carl. We got a question from Ryan Langdon Photo. Oh no, Ryan was there yesterday. He says, "Oh my God, I was there yesterday and I didn't see you." That's probably because you were here during the very short period of time where I actually went and got dinner, or the first meal of the. I had Swiss Chalet. We went to Swiss Chalet, met some lovely people there near the Marine unit, and I sat down for the first time, and that was like 4:30 by the time I got there. Yeah, we were there for about an hour and came back, and that's probably exactly when you were here, or maybe I was in the washroom. I don't know. Things happen. Or actually, this is funny. Many people have spoken to me, not realizing who I was. They came back about a half an hour later and said, "Oh my God, you're the guy from TikTok." So maybe we were talking, you just didn't recognize me. Anything's possible. Let's see here. So Scott says, "I can't believe people. I stopped at a school bus, but no median. I was facing the bus. After 2 minutes, car from behind came flying by. Hope Windsor has cams on the bus." So the law has been adapted, or one is being created to allow for camera technology to be mounted and used for catching those who fail to stop for stop sign. Stop the school buses, not stop signs. They have stop signs on them. I think that should be everywhere. I think it's ridiculous that we have the ability to catch people and we're not using it everywhere, but also that there are people who are actually not doing the right thing. Kids are kind of important. Actually, a whole lot of important. We got the question of no plate frames too. Yeah, anything that covers any portion of the plate, white or like the white frame, the blue flame, not blue flame, blue frame, any portion of the license plate. If it is covered, it's a problem. So just to follow up, this is a question about being on the highway. If I am on the highway, if I was in the very left lane, should I pull over to the right or left lane? So again, it depends. If you can safely get over to the right lane, I would like you to pull over to the right lane. Why? Because when you re-enter the highway, you're re-entering with slower traffic. If you're on the left lane, it's more difficult. Now, what I would do if I was in the left lane, I would hang back. I would reintroduce you into that lane with my lights on so that people would slow down for me. So there's a way of doing it. I don't want you crossing over 6 lanes to pull over in some cases, but sometimes if it's safe and easy to do, that's good. Isn't that the answer that isn't an answer? That's exactly what I gave you. It depends. What's this? Kayla making some comments. Adam, do you need a front license plate on an electric car? The answer is yes, you must have an electric car's license plates if it's registered on Ontario, both front and back. It's a requirement in Ontario to display your issued license plates, of which you have 2, and if you don't, it's a $110 fine. I don't know what everyone's issue is with front license plates. Why they don't look cool. Now Teslas, who mount their front license plates with sticky tape, 2-sided tape, have a tendency to fall off. You still have to get them fixed and put back on, even if that means a lot of glue. My solution, however, is tow hook adapters. Use a tow hook adapter and you win by not getting a ticket. People are starting to roll in. What time is it? 11 o'clock, and they're just getting down to the 800 level. I guess they've been moving slowly to get down here. Does my horse-drawn sleigh require bells while trotting down the road? I think it does. I honestly have never come into contact with, well, that's not true. At the police college in Elmer, Ontario, we see a lot of it. We never pulled any of them over. So I know that sleigh bells are required. I don't know about trailer bells or horse-drawn carriage bells. So that's one I don't have an answer for, but you know who will? Sergeant Campbell. He'll have answers for that. So come back next week and we'll talk to him because, well, I don't know. He does. What's your favorite part of your job? Big fan. That's Braden. Hey, Braden. I love meeting people. I love talking to people, helping people. People are the best part of the job. The people I work with and the people we help. So I like the fact that we do something different every day. I do a little bit of that whole rinse and repeat where I'm online doing social media stuff on a regular basis, like every day. So there's a lot of my stuff that is the same, and I miss being out on the road, seeing different areas of the city, meeting totally different people. But this is awesome too. The job is unique in that every day is different, even if a little bit. Now, if we were talking about when I was still on the road, I got to ride a Harley. I got to ride a Harley for money. Like, the job is amazing. If you ever had interest in becoming a police officer, I would wholeheartedly support that. And you know how you can find out how to, everything you ever want to know about becoming a member of the Toronto Police Service? Yeah, go check out the Toronto Police Employment Unit by going to www.tps.ca/careers and check it out. They have information about the stuff we do and the jobs we offer and the ones that are currently posted and available. Normally, this is where I would share a screen and bring it online. Sadly, I cannot do that from my iPad and phone combination that I currently have before me. It is what it is. But next week when we're back in the office, we'll get back to the routine. John, here's the question I wanted to pull up. John asks, would cameras on school bus have to be set up to identify the driver, not just plates? No. Laws, just like red light camera and speed enforcement cameras, they have been rewritten to be owner responsibility. So the registered owner of the vehicle would be required to pay that bill. And then what would happen is it wouldn't affect driver's license. It would just be a financial impact. But I think we should do what Europe does, which takes a picture. Actually, it doesn't matter if the picture gets the driver or not. The driver gets the points, or the owner gets the points, and then the owner can testify as to who was actually driving the vehicle. Rusty Shackelford wants to know, what are the chances of having a YouTube series like Pinal County Sheriff's Office Fridays with Frank? I think a Canadian version would be awesome to see. Or do our laws prevent something like that? We've been talking about it. We've been talking about doing just that. If I was on the road right now, I bet you would be doing that. It's something we'll see what we can do, because I'd love to bring that to you. I think it would be fantastic and educational. I don't know about laws being an issue, but certainly, it's just a different way of doing business. They have a full crew of camera people and making it happen. Is that suit man a detective? That is our radar and speed enforcement coordinator. Not a detective. He's a specialist. He's the man who makes speed measurement possible. Is that the police car from Mad Max? I don't think so. That is a 1988 Plymouth. It is let me move over here out of the way so I can give you a better look. It's a Plymouth Caraval. And it's old. It's an 88. It's not that old. How often do you guys work with military guys? Depends what you mean. Like, I do presentations to the military. We don't patrol with the military, at least not that I'm aware of. Military police here will call us when they need stuff. If we need them, we call them. But to give you anything more than that, I don't have a good answer for you. Scott says, taxi. Americans used to open the back door, hop inside, and say, take me to the motel, hotel, or burger joint. I don't know. They'd get in thinking it was a taxi. What is this? If you were in the situation where you are making a signal or a single, I think you meant signal, and your taillight goes out, how to make it safe? Well, use hand signals out the window, and at your earliest convenience, like immediately, as soon as you can, go get it repaired. Your hand signals until that happens. Why am I reaching up when I got a phone right here? What do you got here? Does a police officer have the responsibility to direct traffic into a school pickup line? A responsibility? Like, do we have to show up every time school is on? There are people who work as crossing guards. They do crossing guard stuff. Police officers could be hired to control traffic around a school, or could be there choosing to deal with a situation. But we don't have a standing situation where we have to do something in terms of directing traffic there. It could be something that a particular jurisdiction does because there's a problem that they're trying to address, but it's not a normal thing. Scott was saying something about license plates. I'm not sure in the context. I'm scrolling back trying to find it. But the question was something to the effect of pay for the physical plate, no renewal fee. I'm not sure. Are you talking about the fact that right now, when you renew, you don't have to pay to renew? Is that what we're talking about? The fact that it might be automated, so unless you have fines, it'll automatically renew? Maybe that's what you're talking about. Clayton says, see you on Monday. Roger that. I've met so many people. It's amazing. Although, if you took a photo with me, post it on Instagram so I can see the photo. Tag me in it at Voiceover Cop and Traffic Services Toronto. Okay. Scrolling. What's our time check? Ooh, 1 minute to 11. Okay. Oh. Akela says when he came to visit us at Honda Indy, he stayed in the booth the whole time, forgot to take pictures of the race. Now, Akela happens to be a fantastic photographer and took some great shots of the booth, but missed out on all the fast-moving motor vehicles, race cars. Okay, let's see what we got pinned here. We got a dad joke because I got to wind this up, mostly because my neck is killing me staring up at the thing. We'll probably go live later on today again, but right now we're going to cut it off at 11, which isn't fair because we started a little late, but we'll come back in a bit. So here's Akela with his dad joke. That's not what. I have to actually press the button again. Okay, son says, Dad, can I have a lobster tail for dinner? Dad says, once upon a time, there was a handsome lobster. I may use that today, Akila. That's great. I don't have my sound effects board here. That's no fun. Okay, going to look for a thing. I'm going to try and do a couple of things. I'm going to try and fix what was broke. Maybe I'll go out live only with TikTok later to make up for the fact that their questions weren't being heard properly. Anyway, you cut it. It's been a slice. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm at Traffic Services in the Traffic Services booth at the Toronto International Auto Show, where we're talking to you live here. And if you walk up, we'll continue talking. But I'm going to give this voice a rest. We'll talk to you soon. And as per usual, drive safe, drive sober, park legally, and smile because it looks good on you. Should I just leave it pointed at the booth? I don't know. Maybe.